Hello everybody, welcome back. Late model stock fixed series time. South Boston Speedway week 1. This is actually my second race of the week in this series in this car. Attempted a first one, qualified in the middle of the pack on the outside, got freight trained off the start, and within 6 laps was all the way to dead last. Just trying to ride behind some people, find my way up through the field, see if I can salvage anything. Had some incidental contact with somebody that they did not take it very kindly and promptly put me around on the next corner. So rode around in dead last basically. So wanted to attempt this again. I'm still really slow. This is going to be like the equivalent of super late model for me. I'm always terrible at South Boston, but I have not figured out how to drive this car quick yet. Tire safe, so we'll see how it goes. Some races can be tough to pass. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But starting in the back, only one spot to go, so I'm not even worried about trying to get in front of the 6.
Coming up low side.
You're supposed to finish mid-pack.
Clear low.
I don't think that's going to happen, so you're going to lose iRacing out of this, I'm sure. It's going to be more about just trying to learn for future weeks and hope that maybe I can catch a lucky break, pick up a few spots. I'm entering a bit earlier than everybody, but
the leader has just done a 15.
Just not figured out
the guy in front has just
how to keep the car on the right rear without overdriving it on the right front through the corners.
3.5.
Without doing that and sliding the right rear off the corner.
That last lap was a 15.32. The car in front has just done a 15.23.
And I got a feeling we're probably going to be the slowest on the track. He's going to be hounding me here relatively soon, and if he puts too much pressure, I'll probably just let him by.
13th place.
Not sure if the 6 is trying to tire save or if he just doesn't really have the pace, but a couple 2 wide battles, but for the most part, everybody's single file. Which is kind of the name of how South Boston is.
Alright Jake, your lap time's pretty consistent.
Just feel like I turn in, when I try to go later, I end up coming too late and then I crank down on the right front and it probably is applying too much wear to it. But if I enter early, I know I'm going to be wearing on the right front and killing the run off the corner. Soon, we'll see. Got the 14 who shuffled up on the outside. Trying to stay tight to the 6 to see if I can at least gain a spot that way.
That lap
The
was
6 will
15.
tighten up to the 12. But fun times running in the back. This is going to be the iRacing killer for me this season, I have a feeling. So make it a goal to try to get better. Still side by side between the 11 and the 14. 14 really fighting hard on the outside. We're all nose to tail. There goes the 2X and now a 4X. Everybody just checked up. Really sorry, 6. I couldn't do anything once I were all checked up. Apology out to him. That was just short track racing. I don't know. Maybe I was too close.
1.23.
Should have seen it, but I had a windshield full of the back bumper of the 6. So we pick up a spot, but unfortunately pick up a 4X out of it.
Your last lap time was a 15.
Have to look and see what caused everybody to check up as well. And we've now got over a second to try to make up to get any more spots. And yet the 14 still did not lose the spot to the 11.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 83 Fahrenheit. The gap ahead is now 1.25.
Just hoping that maybe somehow I can do better at tire saving than I did in my first attempt. Try to reel these guys in the last 20 laps or so. Seems to be the point when the tires give up if people have not been taking care of them.
That lap was a 15.33.
Looks like the 14 starting to
Pick
pull
up
away
in
a
front
little bit
is
from the
now
11. 12 makes a
1.01.
move to the inside off of turn 4. Gonna go side by side into 1. The 11's probably just gonna let him go and slot it behind.
Behind is now 3.9.
No, he's still gonna battle on the outside. I always say I might just be letting the 12 go, slotting in behind so that I wouldn't have to worry about me getting to him, but we know I drive a little too conservatively at times. So this is allowing me to at least close down the 2 of them while allowing the 14 to continue to pull away. And we're gonna be a third of the way done the next time by.
You've just done a 15.37.
Really bad 1 and 2 there. And now the 11 slots in front or behind the 12. So back to single file. Probably just gonna have to ride here unless I can find a way to exploit a mistake. The 12 makes a mistake, one of the 2. Who knows, we might even end up a lap down.
That lap time was 15.57.
I might be a little bit better than the 11 off the corner, but it could be overdriving. He pushes up to try to get to his inside.
Keep it together, hold your line. Clear high.
Let's just go. I'm assuming he's going for the crossover. Try to defend the bottom till I can pull away enough.
The 11.
At least we made 1 pass without it being based on contact or somebody wrecking. Set up. Run at the 12 if we can. We're a little over half a second back. Just trying to click off consistent laps and be smooth without overdriving the corner like that. It's really bad 1 and 2. Pulling away from the 11, so no pressure behind that way. Trying to catch the 12 and the 14.
The 11.
Closing in on both of them ever so slightly. Be halfway done next time by.
That was a 15.44.
So, still some laps to work with. Trying to pick up a few spots. These 2 are 4th position. The 6 is 1 lap back. I believe we're a couple laps back, so.
Okay, Jake.
Third car
that's
in line,
half
but
distance.
not
Fuel
for
levels are fine.
position.
You're matching race pace. This is good. You've just done a 15.46.
11. Oh, the 12 is really closed up on the 14. Wonder if you're starting to see a difference in tires now. Just kind of going to keep working towards the 12 in case he can get underneath the 14 to try to take advantage of that, but now that we're closing, I'm not really trying to push hard. 14 pushes really wide. 12's trying to work the bottom. Gets underneath the 14, so we're going to try to follow the 12 through here. Gotta hope the 12 can keep it going on the bottom and not allow the 14 back by on the outside. 12's really working that bottom, but he's struggling. 14 got the wall. I had brakes to check up for him. Brakes have a lot of grab, and
Okay,
because
Jake,
of that, lost the 14 in line.
Oh.
Yeah, it was my fault. I thought the 14 was going to be
Right side.
further off the wall. Try to take
Clear
advantage.
high.
See if we can get by him.
Your lap
He's
time
being
was
really
at
respectful,
50.
giving a lot of room on the bottom, so could be at his
He's still there.
demise.
Clear.
And I'm
On your
probably
right.
hurting my right front fork in the bottom, but
Still there.
I gotta make moves.
Keep it
Otherwise, we're
steady,
gonna
still
finish
there.
11th.
10th position.
Still there. Outside line's clear.
We're the 14 now, so up to 10th. Work the bottom until I pull away again, similar to what I did with the 7. Oh, excuse me, the 11. Alright, now we'll set our sights on the 12. I have a little over 20 laps to go to try to get to the 12. I think that's the only spot I'll get unless there's contact up front. Which, there it is.
Won't clear, Dick. What you doing?
And barely got into the 12. Might have been netcode. Trying to check up. Brakes locked up, so should be a couple spots for position, I believe. See where that puts me.
P6.
6th. Nice. Well, running ahead of where we're supposed to. It's really good cars involved in that. So, second thing to unpack. Not a good race, the safety rating, but I don't know. I should have checked up a little bit
Just done
sooner.
a 15.65.
Didn't think I made contact with the 12. Thought I stopped in time, but I guess I didn't. Could still go after top 5. A little less than 20 to go. The 12 might have saved better than I did. Could have pace. 2 pushes way up. It's gonna be one of those where we're just gonna have to sacrifice laps. This one's gonna buy the 2 all the 2s.
15.56.
Far inside.
Now
keep
he's
high.
gonna get out of the way.
Clear inside.
Because he's going to pit road. That wasn't exactly the way I wanted him to get out of the way, but that's okay. Clear track up ahead, so now time to just focus on getting the 12s back bumper. Trying to get by.
15.84.
It's the next car in line behind. Hopefully I can pull away from him, because that would be 4th position. So not in the clear yet to finish
15.53.
5th.
Alexander is now in the lead. 6th
Definitely
place.
have pace compared to the 12.
Okay, Jake. There's a car exiting the pit.
15
Heads
to
up.
go.
That lap was at
Defend the bottom, so it's probably going to be one of those I'm going to have to think about trying to go a high entry, low exit to get by him. Which I can do right now since the 8
That
is
was at
not on my bumper, although I can't use too much
15.66.
throttle in the center of the corner, otherwise I can never turn down. And I can't be too slow, otherwise I'll give up too much time and not be able to accomplish the crossover.
Right side.
Trying to cut underneath the 12.
Still there.
Feel like I have the pace to
there.
get by him.
That was at 15.70.
A little bit of door banging, he
He's
ran
still
me
there.
tight off the corner.
Hold your line. Clear up high.
Clear him, we'll watch for the crossover. If not possible contact.
P5.
I think he's really struggling with right front grip because he's using that apron. Try to help him rotate.
The guy ahead is Alexander.
Alright, so top 5 now. If we can pull away. Let the 12 block the 8. The last 10 laps.
Williams is leading the race.
Well, this race went far luckier than I expected it to be. Guess you could say I'd rather be lucky than good. Nah, I'd rather always be good than lucky, but luck never hurts. And a little wide exit out of 2, a little scrape with the right front. Do it again off the 4 because I'm an idiot. Especially when I am pulling away
Just
from the
done
2 cars behind, so there's no reason to
15.56.
push it that wide.
P5. 0.5. The gap behind is now 0.79.
Hey,
The lap time was at 15.52.
Thanks, man. Yeah, good time. Burnt my shit up in that first, like 10 laps or so.
Your last lap time was at 15.54.
You
Have
and me both.
4 laps to go after, once we cross the line. 11 to 14, talking about how they burned tires up early on. Those were 2 cars I was able to pass on pace, so assume that I'm a little better off on tires than them. Not that that means much.
The gap behind's increased to
Yeah, we pulled away
1.47.
quite a bit from the 12 to the 8. The 8's doing, or the 12's doing exactly what I needed them to do on the 8, kind of blocking them. So it's preventing the 8 from being able to close up. And I've got no shot at getting into the 4. Unless somehow a wreck happens in the last 2 laps. Well, more like a lap for them, probably a lap and a half. Way overdrove the
2
entry
laps
there,
left.
the 1.
You've just done a 15.56.
White flag. 1 to go to bring it home in 5th.
That's good consistency. Keep it up. White flag, 1 more lap.
Which I can honestly say I would have never expected and did not deserve at all. I really deserved like maybe an 11 or not like a 9th place finish.
P5. Okay, it's over.
So bringing home in
Good
5th.
drive.
Not fun from the perspective of an 8x. I don't know. 4x of it I didn't think I really touched, but I don't know, we'll see. So we'll get the overlay off and take a look at everything. Oops, sorry about that.
Good win and good racing based on
Let's
even
take a look at all of that. I will drop the mic down a little bit. So let's see what happened here. So it's trying to close up to the 6. This is when the 11 and the 14 were running side by side. So allowing the 12 and the 6 to both close up, and I had the 8 right by me. This is where we were running 13th. Okay, so contact up ahead between the 11 and the 14. 11's still working on the bottom. He kind of overdrives it a little bit. You can see him sliding up the track. 14 came down slightly, but the 14's holding a pretty consistent line, and the 11 just overdrove the entry. Slid up the middle of the track, gets into the left side of the 14. Doesn't really affect him. He has to kind of check up to save it, which then you're going to see the 11 here. He's going to hit the brakes big time checkup, which I can understand because his brakes are really, really touchy. Like, past like maybe 15 or 20%, they really grab hard. So in the heat of the moment, when you just grab some brake to try to check up, it can really, really stop your progress and slow your speed. So you're going to see that causes the 6 to check up. And look at it from the overhead, and then we'll take a look. So there's the checkup, and I want to watch my telemetry coming in. So on the brake, off, rolling first, last third or so of the first third, and then on the throttle, working my way back on. Couldn't really see too far ahead, so thinking we're good to run. There's the checkup, and I tried to get on the brake and just did not get on it in time for the 6, but I want to take a look and see. Let's watch this from the cockpit again. So we'll watch it, back it up a little bit, watch it in real time. Yeah, all I see is the 6, like I can barely see that, and the checkup happens. I don't know, I mean, I guess you can make an argument that I probably should have been behind him a little bit, but I was trying to stay as tight as I could, and it just, I don't know, it was that accordion effect, and unfortunately, we get the 6, so, I mean, I feel bad that I did that to him. I don't know, that's one of those looking overhead, the third person view, it's a lot easier to see everything happen and what I should have done inside when you've got limited visibility. It kind of feels like the same thing, you know, at Atlanta with the trucks if you're drafting behind somebody that something happens in front of you, there's only so much that I can see. So I feel really bad for getting into him. I'm not like, I probably should have just given a little more distance, and if I could have done that, then I might have been able to grab enough brake to avoid him. I might have also got myself turned by the 8. I don't know, but man, it's so hard when you can't really look through the cars or see that checkup happening up ahead to be able to avoid it. So that one's a bit of a tough break, an even bigger break for the 6 because he did everything right, and I messed that one up, unfortunately. And then let's take a look if I can find where. Let's see. 6th at that point. All right, it's right up here. We're gonna go lap behind. So this is when I get by the 14, it would just kill the tire, so that's why he was not able to maintain that bottom line. And obviously tire saved a little better than him, so get by the 14. Gonna set up a lap or two prior to that massive wreck happening on the front stretch, which I don't watch. Me going through it, and then we'll just take a look and see what happened to that wreck, how that all happened. But I was trying to run down the 12, but just kind of still somewhat trying to save. And then there's the wreck. Clogs up going into turn 1. I'm not sure who I touched. Yeah, that second 4X has got to be all netcode. Has to be all netcode because I never even came close to touching the 12. We'll watch it. So the 12 checks up. I got on the brakes probably a little later than he did. So had to, well, I thought we were going to keep rolling. So that's why I started to release, and then we didn't. So I had to jump on him hard. That's where we locked it up. I think it was with the 12, so we'll take a look up top. Oops. I don't get access. Sorry about that. I think it honestly read it as netcode. Because, like, locking up the brakes, just slide. I mean, at that point, like, I should have been off them, but if I let off at all, we're rolling into the back of them. Yeah, I think it just honestly read that 4X as a netcode, which I can see how prediction code's gonna think that that's gonna end up being contact, but I was actually able to keep it off. And then the other car cleared. We never touched the 2. So, I don't know. I mean, tough break there, I guess. You can call it what it is. Just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, bad luck. Should have not released off the brakes sooner than what I did. And I probably wouldn't have even been in that situation, but just tough break overall. So let's back up and see what happened, though, in that. So we're going to look at the... It's actually going to be ahead with the... It's like the 5 and the 2. Alright. Is there some history here? So the 5 works to the bottom on the inside of the 2. Going into turn 1. It's much from the outside. 2 gets a little bit of momentum off of 2 down the back stretch. 5 dives it into the inside. Didn't dive bomb though. I think the 5 thought he was clear. I don't know. He's running the bottom. The 2's holding about 2 lanes up or so. Lane and a half, 2 lanes up. Continuing to hold that line. So pinching down the 5 to try to keep his momentum down. But I don't know. I think the 5 expected him to be out here a little more. But with how 4 tightens off, you can't really kind of take that line. Like, it tightens off a little more than it looks. So I don't know. It started as netcode, and then they just kind of continue together. And then the 2 doesn't lift, which I can't honestly blame him. I don't know. It's hard. Turns the 5. That checks up. When the 2 releases off the brakes, that sends him down to the inside. Clogs the track. How did the 9? Did the 9 have enough time to see this? Let's see. Yeah, he just doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't think the 2's gonna go down the track. Like, right there, if I saw that, I'd be aborting and trying to jump on the brakes and run this like second lane marker and hope that the 5 was going to stay up against the wall, which it looks like the 5 also releases off the brake and is rolling down the track now. 2 had it locked down. You can see that in his left side, like right there. He has everything he can. I mean, he probably should have been on the brakes a little more, possibly, if he wasn't here. But he's on the brakes and just sliding down and making a track. I don't know why the 9 decides to commit to the bottom and full throttle this. Like, he just full throttles it, and the 13 gets in it. So let's see. Big mistake on the 9's part, in my opinion. I'm not the best at wreck avoidance, but I would not have tried to get through there that way, and I would not have tried to go full throttle through it. Let's see what the 13 does. So he gets on the brakes a little bit sooner. He's full throttle. And then right there, he's on the brakes and kind of goes into a bit of a four-wheel slide. You can see right around here is when he's on the brakes, and he's starting to turn it in, and now he's trying to turn it back up. And the car's just kind of almost in a four-wheel slide from this point on, so he's not go grip. He doesn't have any grip. The 9's already coming back up the track. The track's entirely clogged at that point. So I guess it was a good thing that that happened, because that allowed both of us to get through. 13 walks away unscathed. Ends up being way off the pace, though. I think he was already off the pace before that. I don't know. So yeah, I probably a little bit of a racing incident between the 5 and the 2, although I'd put more of the blame on the 5. 9 just made that so much worse by piling in, and then the 13 kind of didn't help his cause either. So that was an extra 2 spots that I probably should not have gotten out of that. So take a look at the tires really quick before we wrap it up. 69.84. Yeah, I overdrove way too often on the right front and was pinching it down a little too much. So would have liked to see that probably closer to like 80, 78, 80, and that closer to like 75-ish. So a lot of work to work on. You can even see how much higher the inside and the center temps are on the right front compared to all crossed on the right rear. So got a little bit to work on there. Got a lot to learn about these cars and pace. Even though this is only my second race, I still just this is going to be a big learning curve for me. I'm hoping that maybe some SK time will kind of translate a little bit towards this. Help me with running lower brake pressures, kind of keeping it on the right rear a little more. There's a lot more grip in the SK compared to this, although this has a lot of grip compared to the old car. So lot to learn. Hopefully racing stays fairly clean. I can not be a back marker and try to work my way up. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I looked at. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.